What's up YouTube, and welcome back to MAURO'S Films. We are building a such great community. And you know what, I was filming something outside the last 2 weeks and I thought maybe I should make a cinematic settings tutorial. And to thank you all guys, I made a new film loot that is completely free if you get the coupon code that you will see on the side on the black bars that says Film Mavic. So put the coupon code on the selfie page, you will get this loot for free. Remember to shoot in D-Log style. Okay, so you got something for free because YouTube is something for sharing stuff, not making out money of subscribers. So that's free for you. And let's jump in on the cinematic setting tutorial. You must have ND filters. You do not want to get choppy and not fluent 100k shutter speed mess. I found that the original ND filter works really nice and getting a decent image out of it. Be sure that your plastic clamp for your gimbal is set on to proceed with the mounting of the ND filters. You will mount them more easily and prevent the damage of the gimbal itself, because they are so tiny and really soft. For bright sunshine, always use the ND16, you will get near the 180-degree rule. You must be really careful with them because they are so tiny and plasticky. For overcast I use the ND8 or ND4, it depends on the sun that is traveling through the clouds. So decide on your own. So let's jump in on the settings for the gimbal, recording and cinematic mode. Open your app, power up the controller and the MAVIC Pro. Set your home point. Get up in the air before the app allows you to go to the cinematic mode. Press the controller icon and select cinematic mode. The movements and stops of the drone will be more smooth. Be careful because in this mode the drone have a little long stop distance to compensate for the smoothness. Let's go to the gimbal settings. Press the 3 dots on the top right of the screen, go to the last icon down before the 3 dots and select Advanced Settings. Here we have the gimbal stop buffer. This means how long after you release the pitch of the cam will the gimbal amortize the release. Let's see an example when you get it wrong with these settings. The gimbal just moves too fast and stops too hard. So let's try to change this. The best option for me is 20 for the gimbal stop buffer, and for the gimbal pitch speed I found that the best option is 13. This setting is on how fast the pitch of the camera moves up and down. And I do not limit the gimbal tilt. For the gimbal pan synchronous follow, just leave it on. It minimizes sharp robotic movements in the video. Let's see the examples of the changed settings. For the recording settings, first of all you want to go to the cam settings and select the higher 4K resolution. This is the Cinema 4K standard and you will get a slightly larger image, and in the editing software just add some anamorphic bars and you will get a more pleasant cinematic shot. Choose the MP4 if you are on a PC and MOV if you are editing on a Mac machine. MOV are native Apple codecs. Always choose the right white balance, never set it to auto. The best sharpness and color grading settings for D-Log is to set the sharpness to +1, because lower than +1 the Mavic starts to implement a noise reduction in the image that is really bad. For the contrast and saturation I go to -1 and -1, because the D-Log footage is flat enough in the start. For scene like this maybe go with -2. Choose the color profile. I like to go always with D-Log, but if you are not a color grading maniac, select the filter color that you like. Then go to the settings. Histogram on to see what is the exposure metering. Do not lock the gimbal when capturing. Leave the portrait mode off, you will see now why. AFC on. Better sometimes to turn it off and go for AF, but I found that it makes a great job in AFC mode when you focus on a moving subject. Auto Sync HD photo off, we are taking video here. Video caption on. It's a SRT extension that you can later synchronize and even make subtitles. Overexposure warning. This is critical to have it on. It will show you white bars where your image is overexposed. Dial down with the right dial to set it when they barely disappear. Sometimes you will find little portions of the image still having the exposure warning, but this is okay because you are filming some bright reflective objects. Long exposure auto preview off. Remember, we are doing video, not photo. Front LEDs auto turn off. Leave them on if you are not filming in dark environment, but they go off when you press record, so it's kinda the same. To frame better the shot, I choose the second geared lines, so we'll be able to center your point of interest and track it better, and you will be able to follow the roll of thirds. For the center point, I like the cross. Choose on your liking, it shows your center of the screen. For the peak focus threshold, that is also called focus peaking, and I set it to standard, so if I want to manual focus, I know what is in focus and what is not. Then let's turn back to the first menu. Try to have always the ISO on 100 or lower as possible. This is a small sensor, so you will get noisy images really quick. The shutter is always double of your frame rate, so when you are filming in 4K 24p, leave the shutter on 50. Sometimes even with ND16 we will have to bump up slide a little bit, but do not go over 100. You will get choppy and not cinematic images. In this video I did not cover the essential of drone starting and flying, because this is when you have the drone for a while and want to get more cinematic. I hope you guys that I was helpful in this tutorial. Do not forget to subscribe and like this video, because it helps me to do a lot more videos like this. Check my free loots that I provided in this video to help you guys get better image in D-Log, and see you the next one. Bye!